trimming the 3.5-inch block. Okay, this is a little bit trickier because we actually need 7/8 of an inch from my curved seam to the outside. That's our first trim. And there isn't a nice line. We've only got like a tick mark. So let's start and see how we do. So that means we're going to be just a hair under an inch, which also means we're going to be interpolating between tick marks to see, do we have it in the right place? Now, if I've got this good, let me see if I can zoom in a bit more. Okay, if you can see this, I am not quite square up here. So I want to check my upper edge. I want to make sure I've got some fabric there, and I want to scoot it out to the right. So one of the things, it's like you got to check 4 places. So we're kind of checking, we're interpolating, are we at 7/8? Is that pretty close? And do I have fabric coming out the top? You know, we've got maybe 1/8 of an inch trim margin on the smaller blocks, and we've got a full 1/4 inch on the larger blocks. Now I'm going to look at the left. I'm trimming this to 3 3/4, which are these longer tick marks. So it looks like I'm just really going to make it on this block. I don't have a lot of margin here. Now, I do still have a 1/4 inch seam allowance. And I'm going to do my seam matching based on these arc seams. So I do have a little bit more margin than you might think. Okay, so here, okay, and this is one block where I need to check my crib sheet, measure twice, and cut once, because if I space out and think, oh, this is a 3.5 inch block, I'm trimming the 3.5 inches, then I don't have a seam allowance. So I'm trimming it to 3 3/4, and I am just barely gonna trim anything. Okay, but again, I am matching these 2 seams, and I still have a 1/4 inch seam allowance, so this block is gonna be just fine. It was tighter than I thought it was gonna be, but that's okay. This block, I have a little bit of an imperfect match there. That's going to happen a lot. Get used to it. Don't stress. Like my last one. Okay, this one I'm looking a little bit short there. I'm a little bit short here. And that's, well, you know, it's not going to be perfect. This is going to be about the best I can do on this block. And you know what? I almost wonder if this is one that I reversed the seam press direction on and had already trimmed. I forget. I did it on one of these. This may be the one. Okay, so here I'm going to trim a little bit there. Okay, but again, I'm matching my seams. This point and this point. Those are my key metrics for this block. And I can do a lot with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Okay, this one I'm pretty sure I didn't change the direction on. This has not been trimmed before. Okay, 7/8 of an inch. No matter how many times I tell myself, I need to double check that I got my 7/8 of an inch. And I need 3/4 here. I'm just about there. Man, these are coming a little bit tighter than I normally piece. Okay, 3 3/4. Again, deep breaths, take your time, get that lined up. And I have really just enough perfectly So that's squared up just fine. Here's my last of these blocks. 7/8, 7/8. Okay. This one is a little bit wonky. I'm a little bit short here, but I'm within that 1/4 inch seam allowance. I'm going to be doing my seam matches on 7/8. I've got enough margin for 3 3¾ inches. It's okay. So don't stress too much. You'll see how these piece together. It'll work just fine. And you'll be smiling when you see the beautiful seam matches that you can get with this technique. That really makes the quilt. Okay, so not quite perfectly square, but it's square enough.